Hey guys, I'm back for one more shaky video recapping the night two of the Democratic debates. So let's get into it real quick. My biggest takeaway, I think Kamala Harris probably won this. But I told you guys, if you watched my video from last night, we were going to have more fireworks, and we did. They did deliver. Varsity Crew came through. So I do a little thing, and it's on my Twitter at DProjected. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not watching this through my Twitter timeline and that sort of thing, I do a little section each night that I was tracking each candidate was called upon, butted in, and challenged another debater. And it's not even close. Tonight is off the charts. So many candidates butted in. And that's how these, large field debates should go. I mean, Kamala Harris said, it shouldn't be just like a food fight and nobody knows what each other's saying. It should be civil, but, we need to have a little interchange, a little exchange between the candidates. So I think they did a good job of that tonight, and the moderators didn't do a terrible job of getting everybody in line. So I think Harris was the winner of tonight, but Sanders definitely didn't perform badly. I think he was pretty consistent, and that's kind of been a running theme last night and tonight. The people that have a little more experience with these debates, especially not just going heads up, but multi-way, I guess you would say, debates, little poker reference there. But those people know, you're only going to get so many questions. I mean, people that are polling at the top obviously got more questions than people polling at the bottom. But they know, hey, it's feast or famine, man. You got to get in there and you got to scrap a little bit. And some of the young guns, some of the people that don't have as much experience, they showed they weren't aggressive. I was really disappointed in Andrew Yang. I think his platform is interesting, especially with UBI, and he was not aggressive at all. So somebody that I don't really care about or want to hear from, Eric Swalwell, he was aggressive. Some of his points of view really didn't put a big dent in my mind, but maybe in some voters' minds that he did. So Mayor Pete, I don't think had too terrible of a night. Could have been better. But I think the best exchange, or I guess the best part of this debate that had the most hitting notes with multiple debaters was when they brought up race relations with Buttigieg, and I kind of wrote this down of how this played out. So he talks about, in the news recently, he's had some bad news regarding racial relations in his city with a police shooting and all of the things that surround that. So he talks about it a little bit. Well, Hickenlooper and Swalwell both challenge him there, and then he rebuts it, of course. And then Marianne Williamson from nowhere talks about reparations. And then Kamala Harris comes in. So she gets to talk a little bit about race relations, how it affects her personally and in her life. And then she takes that opportunity to attack Biden, which he had been in the news about, giving glowing reviews to racist senators in the past. She talks about how she was personally bussed and how that helped her in her life. So Biden gets to respond, and then Harris gets to respond to Biden's response. So I think that was the biggest interchange as far as started with Buttigieg. Some two people that are fringe candidates got in there and got some shots in on him. Marianne Williamson from nowhere says some ridiculous stuff. And then Kamala Harris gets to put in a jab on Biden. So I thought that was interesting. And, there was some piling on Joe Biden. Some shots taken at Bernie Sanders. But for the most part, I think everybody was just trying to get their point across for the most part. It wasn't just excessive, taking shots or throwing lobs at each other. So I thought that part of it was good. But Joe Biden, man, I don't think he had a very good. I don't think his performance was that great. Um, he comes off as old, that he's done it before. So why would we vote for him now? Because he's already done it, right? I guess he thinks that's a selling point, that he can do it again, whatever the issue is. But really, everybody else is like, okay, these are our plans. This is how we're going to transform the nation. This is how we're going to make things better. And then Joe Biden's like, yeah, I've already done that. So I think that was kind of like the biggest contrast of the night. And then Bernie Sanders got to get a shot in on Biden at the end, talking about how Biden supported the war, because Biden was talking about how he wanted to bring the troops back during his VP tenure. And Bernie Sanders took the chance to say, "Oh yeah, that war you supported, right? I was against that." So that was a good shot by him. But overall, I think the people that were polling higher did do well tonight, with the exception of Joe Biden. And man, Joe, like, I do not see him having any staying power in this field. Like, they're just going to eat them up. And this field is going to dwindle, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. And I'm going to do a video recapping this whole event. So that should be interesting. So take a look at that. But yeah, I think Kamala Harris wins the night. But, Bernie Sanders did show pretty well. Oh, yeah, and I will say Gillibrand, she got in there and scrapped a good bit. She was the one that was aggressive. So I'll tip my cap to Kirsten Gillibrand, because she butted in a good many times, because she knows she's not going to get that many questions. So she did scrap. She was aggressive, and I reward candidates in a big field for, going out there and scrapping a little bit. So I think she did have a fairly good night as far as that's concerned. Bennett could care less. Hickenlooper could care less. Williamson, she was on another planet debating like aliens, I think. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Andrew Yang, man, I'm disappointed with you. I think the Yang gang's disappointed with you too, man. Like, you got to bring your A game. Like, we know you have a lot of substance behind you. You have a lot of platform, but you got to get in there and scrap with people, man. You can't wait to be called on. So hopefully he learned that tonight, but we'll see what he does in the next one. So let me know what you think, what you thought about the debates overall, and I will be coming with some more videos for you guys, and I hope you have a good night. Peace out.